Today's May 5th, 2026, and this is Read to the Bible.
Hi, everyone.
Today is also known as
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, and do you know what Cinco de Mayo celebrates?
Some victory that the Mexicans had in Mexico.
Yep, in 1862. They had a victory over the Second French Empire in the Battle of Puebla.
Okay.
However,
but I think what it's become is Americans in United States celebrating Mexican culture.
Yeah, and Wikipedia says Cinco de Mayo has become associated with a celebration of Mexican-American culture. It's more popular in the United States than in Mexico.
I think we have a listener in Mexico. So
yes, we do.
Happy
Cinco de Mayo. Although it's more popular here than in Mexico.
Yes, right.
To the Mexican Americans who are listening to as well.
Yes,
we have some of those.
We have some of those too.
Okay, so yesterday was a sad day for us.
Yes, we went to the house of mourning.
We did. Yep. Ecclesiastes 7:2 that we were going to read today says, "Better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting, for this is the end of all mankind, and the living lay it to heart."
Yeah, and so our house of mourning is that we had to put our dog down, who we've had for 14 and a half years, Autumn.
Yeah.
So she's had a lot of recent health problems that have gotten a lot worse, and she was suffering, needed surgery. It's too risky to do surgery on her, and so we talked through it with our kids and just decided this was the time.
So we just brought her to the vet, and we just never picked her up, and it just, she's not pattering around the house. Or oftentimes when we read the Bible here, she would come right along and sit right next to you. Yeah, so she heard a lot of Bible read.
Yeah, so we're going to miss her.
Yeah, but it's good to go to the house of mourning. That just because we think about our own deaths as we think about our dog's death today. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so we're going to read in Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Ecclesiastes 7 sounds a lot like Proverbs. Just these statements like I've already read for you in chapter 7, verse 2. A lot of them begin the chapter. Okay, chapter 7, verse 1. "A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death is better than the day of birth." It's interesting. Mm-hmm. That's coming from the contrast of Solomon, who's just talking about death and doom and the futility of life. Verse 2, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting, for this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of face the heart is made glad." These are like doom and gloom proverbs more than anything else. Verse 4, "The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better for a man to hear the rebuke of the wise than to hear the song of the fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of fools. This also is vanity. Surely oppression drives the wise into madness, and a bribe corrupts the heart. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this." Just always looking back to the good old days is maybe not the best thing.
Yeah.
It says it's not from wisdom that you say those things. Verse 11, "Wisdom is good with an inheritance, an advantage to those who see the sun. For the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money, and the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of him who has it. Consider the work of God, who can make straight what he has made crooked."
Verse 14, "In the day of prosperity be joyful, and in the day of adversity consider. God has made the one as well as the other, so that man may not find out anything that will be after him. In my vain life I have seen everything. There is a righteous man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in evil doing. Be not overly righteous, and do not make yourself too wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Be not overly wicked, neither be a fool. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you should take hold of this, and from that withhold not your hand, for the one who fears God shall come out from both of them.
Wisdom gives strength to the wise men, more than 10 rulers who are in the city.
Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never sins. There's one of those verses that talk about the depravity of man.
Yeah. Do not take to heart all the things that people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows many times you yourself have cursed others. My goodness, those are really practical help. Don't be run by the fear of others and what others are saying of you, just because you know how you've spoken with other people, against other people for sure.
Verse 23, all this I have tested by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which has been is far off and deep, very deep. Who can find it out?
I turn my heart to know and to search out and to seek wisdom and the scheme of things, and to know the wickedness of folly and the foolishness that is madness. And I find something more bitter than death, the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God escapes her, but the sinner is taken by her. Behold, this is what I found, says the preacher, while adding one thing to another to find the scheme of themes, which my soul has sought repeatedly, but I have not found. One man among 1,000 I found, but a woman among all these I have not found. See, this alone I found, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. All right, I think those are just proverbs, and they seem to be dark proverbs in some ways, or proverbs that deal with life and death.
At least a lot at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's really like comparing the wise and the fools and the wicked and the righteous.
Right.
And other things.
Right. Okay, chapter 8.
Okay, who is like the wise, and who knows the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom makes his face shine, and the hardness of his face is changed.
I say, keep the king's command because of God's oath to him. Be not hasty to go from his presence. Do not take your stand in an evil cause, for he does whatever he pleases. For the word of the king is supreme, and who may say to him, what are you doing? Whoever keeps a command will know no evil thing, and the wise heart will know the proper time and the just way. For there's a time and a way for everything, although man's trouble lies heavy on him. I just think about the wise man. It says in verse 5, the wise heart will know the proper time and the just way. I mean, that's like you read all the Proverbs and you even read the things of chapter 7, and just the wise one just kind of has a sense of when to walk and when to say and what to do, just even at the right time. I'll just read verse 6 again because it reminded me of that. For there's a time and a way for everything, although man's trouble lies heavy on him. For he does not know what is to be, for who can tell him how it will be? No man has power to retain the spirit or power over the day of death. There's no discharge from war, nor will wickedness deliver those who are given to it. All this I observe while applying my heart to all that is done under the sun, when man had power over man to his hurt.
Verse 10, then I saw the wicked buried. They used to go in and out of the holy place, and were praised in the city where they had done such things. This also is vanity. Because the sentence against an evil deed is not executed speedily, the heart of the children of man is fully set to do evil.
And that's really true when our judicial system grinds down, and the trials last a long time and not speedily taken care of. It just incites people to do evil.
Yeah.
Quick justice is super important.
Yeah. Verse 12, though a sinner does evil 100 times and prolongs his life, yet I know that it will be well with those who fear God, because they fear before him. But it will not be well with the wicked, neither will he prolong his days like a shadow, because he does not fear before God.
There's a vanity that takes place on earth, that there are righteous people to whom it happens according to the deeds of the wicked. And there are wicked people to whom it happens according to the deeds of the righteous. Sounds like Job. A lot like Job. Wicked things of the righteous and good things to the wicked people. I said that this also is vanity. And I commend joy, for man has nothing better under the sun but to eat and drink and be joyful. For this will go with him in his toil through the days of his life that God has given him under the sun. And that's a common theme. Even it was at the end of chapter 5, is that that's what we do. And in terms of vanity, if it's like the smoke, I just enjoy the smoke when you have it, but hold what you have loosely.
Right.
But just enjoy the things God has given.
Yep. 5:18 said, eat, drink, and enjoy your work. And this one is eat, drink, and be joyful.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the exact verse as much as I was thinking about the idea in chapter 5, verse 19. Everyone to whom God has given wealth and possessions and power to enjoy them, to accept his lot and rejoice in the toil. It's the gift of God.
Just that God gives the power to enjoy.
Yeah, so if you have your
things,
thing, I think that's a big thing in Ecclesiastes. Like, things are transient and they're just like smoke and it goes away. So when you have it, just enjoy what you have.
But even we need God to give us the power to be able to do that.
Yep, and hold it loosely.
Right. Verse 16. When I applied my heart to know wisdom and to see the business that is done on earth, how neither day nor night do one's eyes see sleep, then I saw all the work of God, that man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. However much man may toil in seeking, he will not find it out. Even though a wise man claims to know, he cannot find it out.
Sounds a lot like Job.
It does. I mean, really, both 7 and 8 have a lot of Job-like.
Yeah, can't find out even the work of God, even though they really try to figure it out. Like there's a lot of mystery in this life, and that's what these 2 chapters are talking about. So we will see you tomorrow, continuing on in chapter 9. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.